Hi guys, it's LSP. It's currently the 23rd of January. It's about 5 minutes to midnight GMT time. It's going to be a very short video because it's getting on a bit, and I just wanted to go over the cable quickly. You can see obviously we've had a really nice push up, and if you've been following along with the levels, obviously you'll know what all these levels are. If you haven't, just go to the previous videos and you'll see them. We almost tagged the upper 4-hour level that I marked out, and you can see we had a really nice day today. We've obviously jumped over into the next day. On this platform it's 11 o'clock, so this would be like the new day, midnight in 4 minutes basically. And you know the context behind everything that I've discussed, guys. I mean, I'll do a more in-depth video sometime later this week. Sometime later this week. But like I said, it's getting late. You know, I've been awake since 4 o'clock this morning. I'm very tired, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'll drop down to the 4-hour just to show you the level. It's there. We are literally a few pips away. That's good enough for me, to be honest, guys. After it hits this level, I really don't know. But you know, pretty much called every level. You've seen the analysis for the last couple of weeks, you know, and I'm really happy that I'm really happy the way cable panned out. As a study, I went through the trade that I took as well on cable this week, done for the week. It was the first trade. I've took it on this account, but I've also took it on my main account. It's the first trade that I've taken this year on my main account trading, so that's trade number 1. For 20 pips on half the position and 30 pips on the other half of the position. So, you know, happy with that trade. Standard stuff, really. You know, so it's the first trade of January. And that's it. That's pretty much it. You know, it is a bit wicky up here. Let's go to the monthly. Yeah, I mean, at this point, just looking at this point, you know, I don't really know. It's wicky up here, lots of tails, lots of wicks. So, you know, this is a strong week. This is a pretty strong run. So I'm not really sure at this point. You know, I'd need to see how the week closes. And how next week opens, give me an idea, because cable's on its own page. It's not following the dollar, you know, and it's certainly not. It's just doing its own thing basically. So you have to kind of just be cautious of that and respect the fact that cable's on a nice little run, but doesn't mean it's just going to continue and that's it. So wait for more information, see what happens, you know, and take it day by day. Probably take a trade on Euro next week if we start to gain some legs. I still believe we're going lower on Euro, but the good thing about the way that I personally trade, and this is just my own assumption, not assumption, sorry, this is just my own, you know, my own thing, is because I don't anticipate, I mark my levels off, and if those levels don't get traded to or traded near to, then I can't do anything anyway. So I'm kind of right all the time, if that makes sense. Not in an arrogant way, but just I need to see it trade towards that level. It doesn't mean I'm going to get a profitable trade. So I'll be really clear about what I've just said. It doesn't mean I'm going to get a profitable trade. I'm just talking about the levels and the bias that I have, you know, at the beginning of the week. That really changes for me. So as price is moving towards, so for example, I believe Euro's going lower. Okay, if it grinds higher towards this level, you know, I'm going to be paying attention. But if it grinds through this level and say, you know, just for argument's sake, was here, then I'm still right because I've got an upper level that I can look at. Do you understand? Even though that this level here is the reason why I believe this level is going to get hit. Because remember, we have the reason, we have the line in the sand, and we have 2 lower targets, you know. And that's how I kind of like to map things out in my head. But if we start to grind up here, then the sweep becomes a target, a sweep on the old high, and so on, and then maybe some of the upper targets up here. But we don't need to mark those off because I believe we're going lower. So that's kind of a small example of what I was talking about. So I'll leave it at that, guys. Again, go back if you want to have a look at the previous videos. Cables panned out perfectly. Got a trade this week as well, both accounts, and I'm happy. All right. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Emails on the side there if anybody wants to email me about anything that they see in the videos. And I will catch up with you guys at some point. Either if I see something good tomorrow, I'll put a small video out. But if not, it will be over the weekend. All right, guys. So take care. I'll speak to you soon.